Welcome back to N-Powerment Nursing. I'm Linda and this is Ashley, and you have joined us for In the Know, where we make it simple. Today we are simplifying 5 thoughts you will have as you write your registration exam and how you will answer them.
This can help you whether you're writing the NCLEX, NCLEX-PN, or CPNRE exam, and so stay tuned for these tips. And before we get started, as always, we just want to invite you to subscribe to our video feed. Whether you're joining us from Facebook or YouTube, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as subscribe to our live feed on Facebook. That doesn't mean we're going to inundate you. It just means that you're going to be notified when we put new content out, which is multiple times a week. We have lots of tricks and tips and helpful things to share. We also invite you to visit our website, which is www.n-powermentnursing.com, where you can view our complete study packages as well as download our free trial, which is access to our complete cardiac chapter. Do us a favor, comment below where it is you're joining us from, what registration you're preparing for or have been preparing for, or maybe you're a nurse that hasn't graduated quite yet, but you're following us on social media. We always love to interact with you and know where you're coming to us from, so please do comment below. And so we are going to share with you different thoughts that you're going to have while you write your registration exam and how you can answer back.
As you know, this is the last step in the journey before entering the nursing profession. For internationally trained nurses, this can be a long journey, a long finale to getting registered, being allowed to write the registration exam in Canada. It's important to anticipate the thoughts that you might have when you're actually in there, so that you can come up with some strategies before writing to help you cope when you're actually in there, because the only person in there that's going to help you is you. And so this is why anticipation is important, so that you can prepare for those roadblocks.
We've published a lot of videos about emotional readiness around writing the registration exam. It's something we really focus on in our program. And we can tell you now, we hear back from thousands of people that say they are so glad that was a component of our program, that really, really helped them in the moments of writing their exam. We have strategies for test day as a part of our program, what you're going to do before, during, and after in terms of kind of keeping your head in the game and keeping yourself grounded. So this is just a small snippet of kind of the wisdom we have around that based on our experience with thousands of graduates. So here's our kind of short version of what we have to offer in terms of emotional readiness during your registration exam. One of the 5 thoughts that you'll have as you write your registration exam is, I don't know the answer to this question. Okay? That is completely normal. There is no way you could possibly know every single thing in the universe of nursing that there is to know. As a professional nurse, Linda and I are both professors of nursing. We still look stuff up on a routine basis, as do clinical nurses. It is normal. You can't possibly know everything. And if you haven't watched our algorithm on how the NCLEX determines a pass or fail, go back and watch that video. You do not have to get every question right on that NCLEX exam or on the CPNRE exam or the NCLEX-PN exam to be successful, okay? You don't have to know the answer to every question, and you're not going to know the answer to every question. What you have to be ready for is when you don't know the answer to the question, how are you going to handle that? What are you going to say to yourself? Because that moment can take you really downhill, or that moment, you can have a moment of strength where you are mentally prepared for that situation. So make sure you're prepared for what you're going to say to yourself when you don't know the answer to the question. What you're going to say to yourself is, that's okay. I could have studied for 25 years and got a question I didn't know the answer to, and I can still be successful.
And following up on that, saying, I am failing. Okay, so if a question comes up that you don't know the answer to and you start thinking you're failing, that could become a self-fulfilling prophecy. You need to anticipate what you're going to do if you have a feeling like you're going to fail. Because having that emotional reaction during the write of the exam is one of the most darkest, negative, self-deprecating moments. And you need to prepare and anticipate, what are you going to do? This is what you're going to do. You're going to back away from the computer. You're going to put your hand up and you're going to take a break. Mm-hmm. You're going to reground yourself. You're going to go to the bathroom. You're going to get something to eat. You're going to shake it off. You're going to think about the positive affirmations you've been filling yourself with the last several weeks of studying. And you're going to take a deep breath and you're going to go back in there, right? You're going to breathe out that negativity and breathe in power, and you're going to go back in there and sit down and start again.
You're not going to abandon your ship, which is an analogy we commonly refer to in our teaching videos often. Another thing you might think to yourself while you're writing is that I'm passing. That's positive, but also dangerous, because there's no room for arrogance on your registration exam. If you're feeling confident, that's great, but you don't want to ever be like, oh, I'm acing this. This is so easy. Because if you're not taking every question as it comes and thinking about it critically as it's in front of you, if you think you're doing really well, you're going to start nonchalantly kind of glazing over things, skipping over things. So while you want to be confident, you don't want to be cocky. There's a big difference between confidence and cockiness. You don't want to be arrogant, right? When you're writing your registration exam, you want to be neutral, grounded, focused. Take each question as it comes and focus on that moment. Be in control of your thoughts.
Another thought that you might have while you're sitting writing your registration exam is, oh, my friend just got up and left, and I did better than her in nursing school. Okay, that's a really distracting thought to be thinking during your registration exam. And the way to solve that is go by yourself.
Go by yourself.
Don't go with a whole group of friends.
Don't go with friends.
Go by yourself. Because if you're writing the NCLEX and you finish first and you went with another person who doesn't finish for 5 hours, that's going to really lay heavily on the person that's still in there. Please go by yourself.
The last thing you want to be thinking while you're trying to answer questions is that Susan has been in the parking lot waiting for you for 4 hours, right? You don't want your mind going anywhere else besides on the question in front of you. So, as Linda said, go by yourself. Don't put that type of pressure, unnecessary pressure, right, on the situation. And here's probably, this applies only to NCLEX writers, but the 75 question myth, right? Question 75 is so triggering for NCLEX writers, and that's because you can write anywhere from 75 to 265 questions. So if you're doing really, really well or really, really poorly, the NCLEX will decide that you passed or you failed in 75 questions. So everybody really wants the computer to shut off at 75 questions because they're hoping that's a positive thing. People fail in 75 questions often. Passing in 75 questions, or if the computer shuts off at question 75, it means you passed. That is a myth. The computer can shut off at 75, 76, 77, all the way up to 265. So don't let question 75 be a major triggering event for you, because it could shut off at 77. It could shut off at 80. So if it doesn't shut off at 75, it doesn't mean you're failing. It doesn't mean you should totally abandon your ship and have an emotional meltdown and totally lose focus, because you could actually be doing really well and it just needs another couple more questions to shut the computer off. So you can, and I know I'm going to say this and I know nobody's going to do it because I've written this exam and I wouldn't have done it. So I hypocritically give you the advice, right? You can shut off the question counter. You have the ability to shut off the question counter so you don't even know what question you're at. I know none of y'all are going to shut off the question counter. But just so you know, you do have that option. It will save you from the 75 question freak out. But everybody wants to know. But don't let it be triggering for you. And we always give students the advice that you should go in prepared to write 265 questions. If you go in mentally prepared and physically prepared, and with snacks, prepared to write 265 questions, you will avoid that triggering moment.
Yeah, so let's recap what our 5 thoughts are around what you're going to be thinking when you're writing your registration exam. Number 1.
If you don't know the answer to the question, that's okay.
Number 2. I am failing. Get up out of there and get that negativity off of you.
Number 3. I am passing. Don't get arrogant. Stay in the moment. Stay focused.
Number 4, my friend just left before me and I did better than her in school. Go alone to write.
And finally, here comes question 75. I'm going to pray to every god anybody believes in, including celebrity gods, right? Avoid that. Don't fall into the 75 question myth, okay? It could shut off at 76. You could still be doing really well.
If you are looking to gain all the content, critical thinking, and confidence you need to pass your registration exam, we have complete NCLEX, NCLEX-PN, and CPNRE course packages. We guarantee you will pass or your money back. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time on In the Know. Bye for now.